how are we relevant to our members and how are we being a great solution for what their needs are, whether it be a wedding, whether it be general fitness or whatever else is going on in their life, and injury recovery. So I think you've got to keep both the telescope and then the microscope relevant to the conversation, because you have to be able to move here rapidly. Otherwise, you're going to get lost and the here and now won't be happening either. So we've got to be here and present, and then we've got to be thinking about how we're relevant in the next 3, 5, 10 years. And I think all of us are working on that, but I think we absolutely have to stay focused on that.
You're listening to episode 167 of the Fitness Business Podcast. We'd like to thank this month's premier podcast partner, Tribe Team Training. Tribe helps club owners and managers increase their profits from small group training without all the headaches. To find out more, go to tribeteamtraining.com or click on the link in today's show notes. Welcome everyone, and thank you for joining me. This week I had the opportunity to get an in-depth look at one of the largest US privately owned and operated fitness companies, 24 Hour Fitness. To put that into perspective, 24 Hour Fitness has a network of more than 420 locations nationwide that serves nearly 4 million members throughout the US, opening new clubs at the rate of one every few weeks. Today's special guest is the CEO of 24 Hour Fitness, Chris Roussos. Prior to taking on the role of CEO in May 2017, Chris was the president and CEO of Epic Health Services. With his background in healthcare and his new role now in the fitness industry, Chris understands the policy implications of the Affordable Care Act and the impact on business strategy today. One of the most outstanding qualities I noticed when I was speaking to Chris was his passion for creating strong leaders and high-performing teams. During the chat, we spoke about creating strong employee engagement, the company's approach to changing lives of club members and consumers alike through the 24-Hour Fitness Leadership Development Program. We talked about employment recruitment efforts with active and retired military and their families, how 24-Hour Fitness is leading the fitness industry with its digital transformation, and Chris shares his thoughts on what we can expect to see from the fitness industry in the future. We're about to transition into this week's interview, but first I wanted to thank this month's premier podcast partner. Tribe Team Training is a proven turnkey standalone profit center for your fitness business. To find out more, go to tribeteamtraining.com or you can click on the link in today's show notes. Let's transition now to this week's interview with Chris Roussos. Chris, welcome along. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you, Chantal. Pleasure to be here. Real honor.
Now, of course, you were formerly the CEO of Epic Healthcare and now you're the CEO of 24 Hour Fitness. Can you talk to us about what you've learned from transitioning from the healthcare industry into the fitness industry?
Certainly. When I was in the healthcare business and the healthcare industry, I was thinking I was in healthcare, but as I've thought more about it, that was sick care. And I think what we all do, and all the listeners here on the podcast, we're truly in the healthcare space and how we're impacting health, wellness, and fitness and the blend of that. So the combination there is something that I found extraordinarily attractive and really a real driver as to why I had the opportunity. It's been a heck of a lot of fun joining the 24 team.
Because, of course, you're just about to come on to 12 months with 24 Hour Fitness. Tell us, what is it that inspires you about the business of fitness?
Gosh, I've been a bit of a gym rat and a gym goer for years, and fitness has been an important part of my life. I've been a member of 24 at different times since 1995. So I've seen 24 being an iconic brand, this extraordinary company as a member for years. And when I had the opportunity to join it as the CEO and fitting with my personal lifestyle and desire to help people and blending, again, fitness and wellness and healthcare in the prior experience, it was a natural fit. So I was really excited when I got the call, and I literally kind of jogged a little bit down the hall and talked to my wife about it. She's like, "What are you so excited about?" I was like, I just got this incredible call and I'm super excited about the opportunity.
Well, I can tell you that I think most of us wake up every day feeling that excitement. We're so blessed to work in such an amazing industry. So I'm so glad that you enjoy it and you're just as excited as the rest of us. So, Chris, I believe that your business objectives or your company's business objectives includes becoming the premier fitness industry brand of choice, and being a great place to work and to grow. So can you help us understand, how do you bring those objectives to life for your club members, but also for your employees?
Certainly. So when we think about, we've got about 420 locations today. With that, we've got 22,000 employees. When we think about how we bring it to life every day, we absolutely need to ensure that our clubs are running really, really well. And I think that's the challenge we all have, that execution day to day, and we're open 24 hours a day. So that presents its own set of challenges. We've got to make sure our gyms are operating at a very high level for our members every day. And that's been a very, very strong focus of myself. And it's been that way for several years here at 24, which is exciting. And that's all focused on the member and the member experience, number one. And then on the second point, we are nothing without extraordinary people on our team every day, whether we're running one club or a lot of clubs. So that focus on the leadership environment and how we are growing and developing our leaders and how that manifests into the leadership behaviors that our frontline team members are seeing and feeling valued, feeling appreciated. And of course, that translates into a great member experience. That's been something we've been very focused on with 24-Hour Fitness. And then ultimately how we develop our people, we'll get into a little more detail on that. We spend a lot of time on investments in our leadership team so that they feel that sense of investment, which then they are getting better, they can grow with us. Again, then it translates to a better member experience, and this overall supports our responsibility in all these communities on how we are impacting all these folks' lives that come to all of us every day to have their lives positively impacted with fitness and wellness and a sense of community.
You know what, Chris, it just takes one look at your activity online and I can tell that leadership is clearly an area that you're incredibly passionate about, and you just talked then briefly about your team. So let's dive into that a little bit more. Talk to us about how you're actually creating strong employee engagement, retention, and also those leadership growth opportunities for your team.
Yeah, you're spot on. My passion about leadership and developing others, and as myself as well, but we all are on this journey together, is something that I take a lot of time and energy with. But what we do here from a 24-hour perspective is we're very structured in our communications to our teams, not only in the corporate office, but most importantly in the field with our club. So we have a very specific rhythm on number of phone calls and the right numbers, so it's not distracting. At the same time, communications out to the field through our intranet site. We've got monthly videos, and I was just in the club this morning after a training session with my trainer, working on that. So we do that on a monthly basis as well. So that really drives the team member and frontline engagement level. So they've got situational awareness as to what's going on around them. So that's one thing we do. And then very formalized with Jill Waite, and she's our leader, our senior human resource leader. She does an incredible job with our learning and development team. We've got a very structured leadership development process where folks are coming into different roles, and depending on your roles, we then train you up, and we've got very specific protocols on the training you have to complete successfully before you come up and through and you go into those roles. That's one thing that we do at all different levels. And then additional to that, we've got very structured curriculum with the books that we require our folks to read and invest in themselves, which we provide. And then we also draw upon some Harvard Business School curriculum as well to overlay that on top. So again, our leaders are very emotionally intelligent, very strong, understanding who they are and how they need to lead within the context of who they are as a person. So there's authenticity, et cetera, and all that creates and translates to an operating environment that, when you think about our workforce, they're super excited. I mean, we trust them, we're investing in them. They love to win, they want to grow, and they can do that with us and all these other amazing fitness companies that are growing as well. I mean, it's a great industry, and we've got to be great stewards of all these people that are with us. So we spend a ton of time and energy investing in them so they can do amazing things every day to serve our members.
I absolutely
I could go on for hours about this, but I won't.
I know, I can tell. I can hear the passion in your voice. And as you were saying that you give your team all these resources, of course, top of my mind is, well, we're going to have to give you some podcasts to add to all of those amazing resources that you're sharing with your team.
It'd be awesome. No, absolutely. But again, it's all about our people, whether we're running one club or we're running 400 or any point in between. And it's extraordinary. And our reliance on them is so important. We're only as good as every one of our members. So our responsibility is to make those investments. And they're watching our feet as leaders. So how do we role model, and how do we behave? How do we speak? How do we communicate? How do we provide that affirmation of the hard work that they provide every day? And that translates then to just that extra smile or that extra thank you with the member, and then the members are having a great experience. And then great news is they continue to come to our clubs and all of our clubs, so we can continue to serve our members and or engage with them from a digital perspective in the community wherever they are. That's what we want to be. We want to be their in-club provider as well as be their provider no matter where they are. And with 24 Go, they can do that, and that's where we're focused on that strategically as well.
Chris, tell me a little bit more in regards to your leadership development program. Is that available across the board to any of your team that want to take part, or is it only select people that can become involved in that?
So it just depends on different pieces. So there's a complicated answer in there, but we do have some resources that are available to everyone. And then depending on their role, for example, a general manager or a department head and or a district manager, there's a very specific track and very specific curriculum that we provide those leaders, so that we're raising, if you will, the acumen of the entire organization. And that's when they're coming into position. And then we routinely have national meetings where we bring our leaders together, and we'll have speakers or authors come in following up on some of the books that we've assigned, and then have them come in and speak to our leadership team. And it really brings to life those leadership lessons, watching some of these incredible authors who are just extraordinary. So it's a combination of both. Yes, a lot's available, but then depending on your role and responsibility, we bifurcate those things around those responsibilities.
Wonderful. Chris, I was reading online that 24 Hour Fitness are actively involved with supporting both the active and retired military personnel. Can you talk to us about how your recruitment efforts with those groups and with their families have actually contributed to your business?
I'd love to. And Chantal, the last part you just talked about, the families are so extraordinary. When we think about the responsibility of our spouses that support our military members, it's difficult for a lot of those spouses to find employment because of all the responsibilities at home when their loved one's away, deployment. So having that flexibility and recognizing that spouse of a military veteran, no matter where they are around the world, is critical. But with that, we've got a very structured approach on recruiting and going after very aggressively veterans. And the reason why, as a former veteran myself, is these men and women, as they're going out on deployments, when you think about someone who's a 25-year-old in our clubs and they have perhaps 4 or 5 years of military experience previously, they are showing up with life experiences that's generally 5-10 years beyond their peer group because of what they have learned through their military experience with leadership, communication, delegation, responsibility, accountability. All those things are vitally important. And when you think about multi-site operations where those leaders are vital to have a consistent brand presentation and be responsible for our companies, it's very important that we've got leaders in place that are able to bring those skills in. So with that, we've hired now about 2,900 veterans so far. We've got a very specific program called Boots 24. Our recruiters are actively working on that, and we've got a national strategy based on where the different military posts are, as well as our online efforts to recruit and attract both veterans, younger veterans that are coming out after perhaps a 4 or 5 year turn, and or retired veterans that are coming out after 20 years. And we also hire injured veterans, and that is also extraordinary, where we can provide a great environment for these men and women to be able to come into another supportive environment with other veterans, and they thrive. So that's just part of a much broader recruiting strategy around everything we're doing with, we pursue we've got a lot of professional athletes on our team. We have Olympic athletes that are on our team, and it just creates a great community across the company. And it's a lot of excitement and energy and amazing people that we get the privilege of working with every day. So it just creates that, the day-to-day momentum that we all need in our clubs to be able to win for our members every day.
Thank you so much for taking us through that, Chris. Now, earlier on, you briefly touched on technology, and I would love to chat about that in a lot more detail. Tell us about how technology, has impacted the fitness industry, 24-hour fitness in particular, obviously, because it appears as though it's had a very favourable impact and it's created this large growing community of engagement with club members, regardless of where they are. So can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Absolutely. So we have seen a similar trend where technology is something that it's the future, and it's here and now. It's not even the future. It's something that's relevant in our lives personally, and as well as our members, because we are members of all these clubs ourselves. So with that, we launched a strategy here a couple of years ago to develop an app called 24Go, and that's been central to our technology efforts. There's a ton of technology that we have behind the scenes that's supporting the infrastructure and all the other technologies that we employ, but specific to what is out there relative to what our members can engage in around technology. 24Go recognizes where our members are, and depending on how much information they put in, I can just talk personally. For example, you set your profile up, what equipment you have in your home, and when you're in our clubs, it knows you're in our clubs, and it brings you very, very specific workouts based on what your fitness goals are, as well as where you're at in your fitness journey. It integrates music as well, based on the music that you like, that you already have on your phone. It's super exciting how adaptive it is. And I'm on there daily as well myself, so I'm also a user, and we've got it's been quite a successful launch. We've got a lot of users right now. Probably some people listening to this podcast are already users of it, but it's everything from working out, and it provides videos where people do not understand specifically how to do a specific movement. We apply that as well, and then we're also providing some nutritional information and some other insights around fitness and wellness and just well-being. So we're thinking about mind, body, and spirit when we think about how we help and use technology to support our members. And whether you're a member or not, at least our approach is we want to help our community. So we allow folks that aren't even members to be able to access what we're providing and take full advantage of our application.
Wow, that's absolutely fascinating. And I love the holistic approach that you've got with that app and utilizing the technology to its full advantage. I mean, I think it's important for us to all to recognize that, technology is such a wonderful supporter of what we do in the fitness industry. And it sounds like 24-hour fitness has absolutely embraced that. And as I said, I love that you've taken it outside of just the facilities into the communities. It's such a beautiful message. Thank you, Chris. Now, when I was doing a bit of research and having a look at what you've done and what 24-hour fitness are doing, of course, I stumbled upon some great videos of you at Pyeongchang recently. How was that?
Oh, it was spectacular. We've got, we've had a 16-year relationship with the U.S. Olympic Committee. So that's been central to a very strong and important partnership. So what we did was at all the different Olympics, we've been able to bring 24 team members to the Olympics as well. So we went there with a team of 24 team members. We had the opening ceremonies, which were off the chart. It was extraordinarily cold, as all the media pointed to. We didn't see all the lights and everything that everyone was watching on TV. We had to go back and watch that. Yeah. About a week after we came back, my wife and I watched that, and it was just incredible from seeing where we were watching it and then to watch the entire event. Nice. And all the lights and the drones and everything was terrific. But the community around the Olympics was extraordinary. Just watching the world come together and being there from all over was amazing. And then, we were at opening ceremonies, some figure skating, snowboarding, and as well, we did a trip up to the DMZ. We had the opportunity to spend a lot of time with some of our U.S. athletes in USA House. And that was just amazing, hearing their stories and how they've overcome all types of odds. And they're there supporting, the country, but all the athletes we met, no matter where they were and what country, were, just great mindset, focused, there to win. At the same time, a lot of appreciation for everyone that supported them to get there. So it was superb. And now we're looking forward to Tokyo, and we've got a lot of things going on already inside our organization to support the USOC and all of our new existing and future Olympians that are coming through to have a great games in Tokyo here in a couple of years.
How wonderful. What a fantastic story, Chris. And of course, your relationship with the United States Olympic Committee is just one of a number of partnerships that I believe 24 Hour Fitness have. You've also got Les Mills and Zumba. Is it Tivity Health? Have I got that right? Silver Sneakers?
Yes.
And
yeah, that's involving our silver sneakers. Yep.
Right. So there's a whole lot of these partnerships that exist with the 24 Hour Fitness business. How do you find that those relationships contribute to the company's overall growth?
So absolutely. The USOC is certainly central. It's been a long-term relationship, but the Zumba and Les Mills, when we think about the quality of those programs, and you think about, we do over 1 million group exercise classes a year. We've got about 8,000 group exercise instructors. The team there does just an extraordinary job. So with that, we bring those relationships in and just the quality of that programming to our members, so it keeps it interesting and again, just bringing the best of the best in. So that is real value for our members and their experience. That's been very important. And then here recently, last year as well, we added a relationship with Spartan. So you'll see a bunch of stuff coming out from 24 and all our team's super excited. A lot of our team members were already out and involved with Spartan Racing. So we're going to be kicking that off here and very active. And again, it just fits in with our members. We've got a lot of team members out and members out in our clubs that are OCR, obstacle course racers. So recognizing that, and then we will be training and getting our trainers certified to be Spartan trainers, as well as we're going through a 3-level process to get our trainers Olympic certified. And they'll be the only ones in the world that will be U.S. Olympic certified at multiple levels. And then ultimately, we're going to send our trainers to Colorado Springs for very specific training. And from there, then they will go to the Olympics and be staffing the Tokyo Olympics as trainers for the athletes. So when you think about how we use those partnerships, it's trying to create a better set of solutions for our members through those relationships and through the programs, again, whether it be Les Mills or Zumba. And then ultimately as well, so we're taking a complete community approach with Silver Sneakers. We've got a very vibrant senior community inside of our clubs. I mean, it's amazing. I met one gentleman who's 102 years old.
No way.
Incredible. Yes.
Oh.
Yes. I mean, it's just, it was beautiful, man. It's just extraordinary. But, it's such a vibrant crowd. But we've got aqua aerobics. We've got all kinds of programming for seniors as well. So again, it's the totality of how we get, children 12 and older engaged in fitness and movement, all the way through seniors that are looking at having a vibrant, excited, silver, if you will, senior experience with us. And, we bring them in and we've got, we'll have potlucks with them. We sometimes have art classes with them, in addition to really great wellness programs inside. So it's that holistic and how we use the relationships with these different organizations to bring that all together for the total experience. So our members are feeling extraordinary value, and most importantly, whatever their goals are, we're able to be a part of them so that they're successful in whatever their endeavors are.
I love the sound of those partnerships, Chris. Thank you for explaining those to us. Now, I have a big question to finish off on today, and
okay.
A big one. I'd love to hear your predictions on what you think the fitness industry of the future looks like.
Gosh, I think the only thing the future prediction is going to continue to change, and that change is going to be accelerating. So I think ourselves included and all of us have to remain relevant into everything that's going on right now with technology inside of society, perceptions, real and perceived, and what the solutions are that our members need all over the world. We have to be relevant in that conversation and with those different solutions and continue to evolve and have what I'll call a lot of agility in our models and our messaging and the technology and apps and how we're bringing fitness to our folks all over the world. But I think the convergence of fitness and wellness and healthcare is something that is here and now. And most recently, there was a quick article that came out talking about the importance of fitness and core strength training prior to an operation and how that is clinically proven to improve reduce hospital stay, improve recovery. And those are the types of things that create and make our industry much more relevant in the broader conversation. We think about population health and how we can impact the world and just world fitness and world health. So that's how we're thinking about it. But then we've got to translate it back down to the here and now on how are we relevant to our members and how are we being a great solution for what their needs are, whether it be a wedding, whether it be general fitness or whatever else is going on in their life, and injury recovery. So I think you've got to keep both the telescope and then the microscope relevant to the conversation, because you have to be able to move here rapidly. Otherwise, you're going to get lost, and the here and now won't be happening either. So we've got to be here and present, and then we've got to be thinking about how we're relevant in the next 3, 5, 10 years. And I think all of us are working on that, but I think we absolutely have to stay focused on that.
Chris, I've got to tell you, it's a privilege to hear you talk and to hear about what has happened with 24-Hour Fitness, even in the short time that you've been there, but also really exciting because I know, you've got such a broad background from the health industry side of things, and it's so clear in the way that you speak that the future is much more along the combination of where health meets fitness and what we can do. And I'm so excited and thrilled to hear that. So I want to say thank you so much for joining me today from the other side of the world. It's been an absolute pleasure and a privilege to chat to you. And I wish you all the very best. Thank you, Chris.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me on the show. And I sincerely appreciate it. Thank you.
Team Rockstar Fit is an award-winning mastermind team that helps fit pros lead happy and balanced lives. Get mentoring and support. Learn how to grow your business online with Beachbody. You can apply for a free consultation today at teamrockstarfit.com.
Get ready for this week's bonus segment, your extra injection of information, education, and inspiration to strengthen your fitness business.
I'm chatting today to JP Richard, the president of Tribe Team Training from North America. Hey, JP, how are you?
Hey, Chantal, I'm great. How are you?
I'm really well, thank you. It's great to catch up. And you're here to give us a bit of a news update about Tribe Team Training. And of course, you have 3 main focus areas for the business: member, coach, and club. So let's start off with member. I believe that you've got some gamification elements that you're incorporating into Tribe. Tell us about that.
I do, and I'm so excited to share this with you, Chantal. As you know, the programs themselves are so important, and we already deliver safe, entertaining, quality-controlled programs, but what we're doing to our seasons now is we're adding a ton of gamification through it, and not just through the programming itself, but actually through technology. So you have members not just gamifying with each other in the same room at the same time, but with other members that come in to do Tribe at different times of the day, and even other clubs from around the world. So we're able to really unite this tribe, this ever-growing tribe around the world. And I think our members are going to really love that through our programming going forward.
Fantastic. Okay, let's talk about coach, because I understand that you've got a leadership retreat coming up.
Yeah, actually, this is another big one for us here in Tribe Team Training. And as you know, coaches are so important, so valuable in the whole experience of delivering Tribe Team Training and delivering a small group training product to our members. So a big focus and a big pillar of what we're doing is trying to make coaches better at coaching. So yeah, we're hosting a leadership retreat this summer. We're having Brent Darden come in and give us a workshop, a full day workshop on leadership as a whole. Everybody knows Brent. He's a super well-respected guy, and he's been on your show a couple times, I think. We also have co-founder Sue Richard coming to take the Tribe delivery to the next level. And we have a 7-time Olympic medalist and a coach for 25 years who coaches world-class athletes. And he's going to come talk to us about how to really get people to behave the way you need them to behave to be successful, how they could stop tripping over their own feet to become successful. So we're really excited about that.
That sounds incredible. I cannot wait to hear more and get some more information on that, JP. And last of all, of course, is clubs. So talk to us about how Tribe is benefiting clubs from a management perspective.
Well, as you know, we're a turnkey solution with a proven business model for health clubs. And what we're trying to do, again, because without clubs, we don't have any customers, but we're trying to make it easier for these clubs to run our programs so they can have an efficient staff delivering and showing value in these programs. So what we're now doing is we have real-time marketing available for all of our clubs that use Tribe Team Training. And what that means is we have a ton of video content and a ton of real-time. So whether it's Tuesday morning or or in April or Friday afternoon, we have stuff coming at you real time, so you can post, or your marketing team can post it as we go through the calendar year, which is just making things so much easier for clubs that use our services.
JP, if our listeners want to find out more about any of those three elements, or they just want to have a chat about getting Tribe Team Training into their club, where do they go to find out more information?
Well, they could look us up on Tribe Team Training on Facebook. We'll respond on Messenger right away. Or, of course, they could go to tribeteamtraining.com. And all the information that I just talked about is right there on that website.
Fantastic. JP, it was so good catching up with you. Thank you for taking the time to drop by the show and give us a bit of an update. And I also want to say a big thank you for being our premier podcast partner for the month of April.
Yeah, my pleasure. It's great to be here again. Thank you.
We'll chat to you soon.
Precore Quickfire 5.
This week's Precore Quickfire 5 guest is Alan Leach. Alan is the Area General Manager and Director of Sales and Marketing at the Westwood Clubs, and he sits on the URSA Board of Directors. Enjoy this week's Precore Quickfire 5 with Alan Leach. Alan, welcome along, and thank you so much for chatting to me today.
Thank you, Chantel. I'm delighted to be here talking to you.
We are starting off the interview with our Precore Quickfire 5. So do you want to start off by telling everyone, why do you do what you do?
Very quickly, because I love the fitness industry, but I love sales and marketing even more, and the match of the both two is perfect.
And what's one ritual that helps you become better at what you do?
Read. I constantly read all the time. That's where I get my ideas from, reading.
What's an app or a system that you use to stay in control of your workload?
I don't use one. I tend to just go at it.
Just go with the flow. And this question relates back to your previous answer. And what's one book, podcast, or blog that you would recommend and why?
The Practice of Management by Peter Drucker. There's many books I've read, but I think that one, if I was to pick one, would have influenced my career for big time.
And tell everyone what the main topic is that we're chatting about in next week's show.
Mainly marketing and more digital marketing, to be honest with you. It'll be mainly digital marketing.
Excellent. Well, Alan, thank you so much for joining me for the Precore Quickfire 5.
Thank you, Chantel.
Before we finish off today, a reminder that all the resources, the links, and a transcript for today's show can be found at fitnessbusinesspodcast.com. For all of you that has made it this far in the show this week, I do apologize for my scratchy voice, but we have just come off the back of 4-day Filex Fitness Conference here in Australia, so my voice is a little bit worn out this week. It'll be back to normal next week. I want to say a big thank you to our founding partner, Active Management. They have an amazing gift for all of you. Their number one selling checklist is all yours, free of charge. It'll turn your About Us page on your website into a lead generating page. Just go to fitnessbusinesspodcast.com/active for a free download. Thank you for joining me for another week of the show. I will see you next week. And remember, what you leave behind is not what's engraved in stone monuments, but what is woven into the lives of others.